Hi guys, for today I will bring to you a brief introduction to PowerApps. Be a developer but no skills needed. So low code, let's see what is PowerApps. So for how to do, we will see overview PowerApps, create your first application in PowerApps and run the application. So let's see overview PowerApps. Demo time. Let's go with it. So the first thing you must do is go to PowerApps, Microsoft.com, right? And after click in Start. Okay, if you start free, you go for your address email. You must put your email address with your organization. In this case, this is Clarinet, my organization. So I work there, and of course, you must, if you don't have account, you sig up. If you have account, you need to sig up. No, no need, because you are already licensed for Microsoft Power Apps, right? So this is most important. You must be have a license to work in Power Apps. After that, you go with and let's see what happens next. So this is the interface to create a Power App. A chatbot app is possible, but I will talk this in advanced mode later. What to make your own app? For example, build apps faster. Okay, so connect your data and, of course, begin to design your application. And no skills need. Okay, no developer skills need or something related with. What you must know, for example, Excel, SharePoint, common other data service, for example, Access, SQL Server, or something more or less than that. For another advanced topics, you must read a little bit, and after that you will accomplish your tasks. So now, what I will do now is create, for example, from blank application. If I want, I click here, I give the application a name, for example, first application Power Apps. It's a good idea in your name you put what you want with your application, right? So I want a first application Power App. And if it is a tablet application or a phone, these two formats are the formats are one of them are required. Okay, so let's continue with this. So now I will create a phone application. For example, it opens to me a design environment, right? In all of this in the browser, using only the browser. Okay, so now you have two options: create a form, create a label. Okay, in this case, I will select create a form, and of course, I have here a form to a form to my application, right? So now I must draw my form application. After that, I have, for example, the data source. Okay, some imagine some data I use or I can use, or if I want, I see all the, for example, all the data I have to use. Okay, but for now I don't have any. So now the columns for your your layout. For example, I will put two columns. Okay, after that, the edit mode, the default mode for the application, I will see a view. Okay, it's a view, and the border for example, if you need. So now I will do it. This is the form approach. Okay. So now imagine of that. If, for example, I can add an image, for example, I will put some image here. Why not? Mommy, baby, my son. So I will use this image by my background image in my application. You see it? So it's fit, but I can, for example, put a tile, everything here, or for example, I can center it. I can also fill everything with the image, so and stretch the image, but I will use the tile. Okay, so now another point is okay, it's possible for us. I add a button. Okay, for example, I put a button in this application. For example, it's possible for us also add a label, right? So I can put a label in my application. I can, for example, this is like today in these days we are always stay at home, so we have the children with us, so it's alive. And don't forget, stay at home and stay safe. So now this is what is this? This is where you have all the properties you want to work and on. For example, it's possible you make this kind, but imagine I want change the color. Okay, the color of, for example, the border, right? I can put white color, for example, for the border, right? And if I want, imagine you don't see it, your label now, but if you click here, you can see again and go to the properties, right? So if, for example, you want, like I said, change for the disable color, the overall color, put a tooltip if you want, display mode, for example, in the view. Okay, this label will show in the view, the text for your label. All right, for example, I will change the text color for height, and now you see it, the text in the label, right? Uh, like you can see here, I put some text, for example, continue.net, and now if I want, I can change the font. I will use to my text, for example, Courier. Why not use this, right? But it's so slow, so I increase the font size, right? Or if you want, you can do it in this way. Okay, for example, give him more space in your screen, right? And of course, apply it like you want. So now, like you see it, it's possible also. I transform the font type to bold, give some italics, underline if you want, and or you change again the font, right? So this is everything understood, right? So far so good. And now my children will destroy my house, but let's continue. So like you see here, this is your first, for example, label and with another, for example, like you see it with another with an image and a button in it, right? So imagine if you want. want to put some text or some input in your application. It's the text input, right? Like the name says. So if you want, for example, a login, okay, you can, for example, put here a text and of course create another label to, for example, to your user. Okay, use it. The first thing you must do it now is like the same way before. Okay, don't forget we will create a login, but now interesting thing. For example, if you see here if the function, it's possible also I use some function to change the text of my label. For example, imagine you want the user name, right? So now this text must change the color. Why not I use and remove the font style and normal again and change the text color, right? For example, put in, choose some good color to your use, or like you see here, why not you put and down. So this is the kind of art you must have, right? Like you see here, it's like artist guide to create your application in the right way. So now, like you see here, I have only my form to the login, right? So now I have this form, and of course I can now run the application. It's very easy, or it's only click here, and if I put some text and make the login, right? So this is the design about it, the Power Apps. It's very easy to design something, right? And after that, you see here, it's not possible doing anything with the button. And of course, the password is the clear password. It's not good to put this. So we must change the type of the text, for example, for password, right? If you see in another systems, the password it's within, okay, and a echo to show the password, right? And of course, the login must go to another screen, right? So what you must do it is these two activities now to accomplish this, right? So let's make this in the right way. So the first thing you must do is the format of your text. For example, here you have text or number. So this input text it's not the correct for you because you need another kind of input, right? If we use this kind of input text, it only permits us put a text with no password or something like that, right? So this is a trick stuff to you. So guys, like you see here, exists in the text box the kind of mode and the mode password, right? So if we now run the application, this is the password mode, right? So like you see here, it's important you see what kind of attributes and of course the activities you want your application do it. So after that, we will accomplish the next step. We must, if you see here, the names of your controllers are a little bit strange. Level 1, 2, do text input. So the best to do it's my challenge. So LVL, for example, for this means label, and after that underscore, and you can, for example, do it the name of your action, password, right? So after that, you will see, like you see here, I will change everything to some acronyms: LBL, TXT, 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 and of course the last one is the button. I must also, for example, give him another convection, BTN, and the score, and after that you put the name of your action. So, and for example, for this screen, you must also do the same thing in this way. So it's the login screen, right? And have some controllers. This is controllers, right? This is labels, and of course your title. I don't like it this in this way, so I will try do it something more different. So why I must do it something now. For example, give him a color, border color around it. For example, why not some this kind of, why not? And see what happens and run again the application. Okay, so this is the login, right? So we will now put another screen, right? For example, we new screen here, and after that, we will introduce a new screen. But if you see here, if some of them with some operations in it, for example, calendar, people, success, a list, for example, a tutorial, and a meeting and email, for example. So this application, we will send mails for us. So the first thing you must do it is, for example, make the login, and after that, we will go to the, for example, email or meetings. So let's begin with some, for example, screen mail, because we will log in, and after that, we will go to the email screen, right? So now here, the first thing you must do it's the name of your screen again, for example, the email, and after that, you in this we have the screen from the email. It's possible for us, for example, contacts, right? And if you see, all the contacts are in your application, based in your organization. So it's possible, and quickly you create your application to send mails, right? So it's so easy. The first thing you must do it, also don't forget to rename all of these, and of course put a button to send a mail, right? So we will put here a button to send the mail, right? So we will change the text to send mail. And of course, we will repeat all of these and so on. But if you see here, we have a button, right? So we don't need a button because the control gives us a button in the top of the page, right? So the question is, okay, if I have one, for example, I will test what happens in this. For example, this I will send a mail to me, for example, and give a subject, hello, hello, test, mail, and put here again some message, for example, send a test. Like I said, this is a button. You see it? If I send, the mail is sent. Okay, I will receive this money. So the question here is, okay, I have this kind of button here, but if you want to put another, you can. But don't forget, this is a button and it's a icon, right? So to send your email, we use, for example, icon, okay? And this icon send you a mail. Okay, to send the mail itself is based in some functions. What are functions? I will try explain to you later. So now what we will do it. It's very easy. We will, for example, put some imagine some authentication. For example, I will put a username and password, and after that, he validates username and password and send us to the another email screen, right? So let's do it. To do this, I must create a function in the button, right? So now, if you see here, I have a expression logic arrayed and put it in the button, right? For example, I have the text password the password must be Pedro. And of course, I can also add another expression with, for example, the text of, for example, username and give him, of course, says, for example, don't forget, here you receive an error, but this is because this is the name of the control and that is the properties you want access. For example, this case, I want access to the text, right? It's more or less for developers, the Windows Forms application development or WPF application development is the same concept. Or for the Excel guys, it's like the Excel with some rules in it, right? So it's very easy. So for this, I will put Pedro. And another, I can also, why not put, for example, if password it's Pedro, I put a new label here. If it is Pedro, your password is correct, please enter the correct password. Or if not, you receive another message, right? This is the if condition. Is a condition. So this is what happens. If this is what happens, happens this. If else, is this, right? So now what we want to see, the application runs again. So let's see it. I put Pedro, password Pedro, and your password is correct, login it. So now I change to, to another screen, right? The email. And of course, you fill all the fields and send your emails. And why not? We can put here another button. But guys, give me your feedback, subscribe the channel and see the first application and overview design with PowerApps. I hope you like it. So stay tuned and don't forget stay at home in these different times for all of us. And I will give you another tutorial and another video about Power Apps and another things with this application. Bye bye and sorry by my children.